Let's talk about my sweetheart lychee tree, because she came in a week ago at this point, and she came along with her sister, which is my mango tree. And the mango tree was perfectly fine. She did more than well during travel, because I am ordering these trees and bringing them in to Arizona, because we are a subtropical temperament here in Arizona. And so a lot of fruit trees or tropical fruit trees will do well here with patience and just some extra TLC, and just, paying attention to what's happening with them as you're growing them. And so I flew in my sweetheart lychee, and she did terribly during travel. Traveling really stressed her a great deal. As you can see, when I touch her leaves, they are extremely brittle, and hard. And I wasn't very happy, because I thought that maybe she was dying. And so a lot of times when you have fruit trees, or just trees or plants in general, and they look like they aren't doing well, like on the verge of dying, you can always do a stress test, a scratch test. And what that requires is for you to scratch the bark. And if there is green there, that lets you know that there are signs of life, that your tree is doing well, even if it looks like it's in terrible shape, even if those leaves are brittle and crispy and just worn and tired and stressed and, man, on the verge of cracking and breaking. I was so tempted to cut her leaves in order to speed up her growth. I was so tempted to just go through and do a big major cutting. And then Spirit stopped me after I did her stress test, her scratch test, to see that her stem or her root system, her bark, is very much still alive. And so a lot of times you have to just leave them alone and let them do and go through their natural process. And what the lychee tree is going to do is naturally drop her leaves. She's going to naturally drop them on her own as she begins to push out new growth. She's going to do the work for herself. I don't have to touch her. I don't have to be impulsive. I don't have to cut away at her impulsively, because I want her to look a certain way and to present a certain way. I'm going to leave her alone and let her do her thing. And I think that's a lesson to all of us, especially when we are in growing seasons, which automatically bring their own amount of stressors from different areas, from one main area, or just from multiple sources. We find ourselves going through our own stressors during our growing seasons. And so instead of being impulsive with yourself and hacking away at the things that don't feel good, that don't look good, that are brittle and dried up and feels like they've already going through a dying season, leave yourself alone. Leave yourself alone and allow yourself time to push through or to push out your new growth, to change the story, to reintroduce life, or rather to show you the life that's already waiting. But she has to go through this stage of dying and allowing what is not going to serve her any longer the same way You got to leave yourself alone and to let the old things die off and to drop where they may. Because it eventually always falls off. And new growth is always waiting to spring forth. And so I'm going to be watching my baby over the next couple weeks, and I'll take you guys along. And let her be a testament. Let her be an example to you over these next few weeks to leave yourself alone. Let the cards fall where they may, and allow your roots, okay, and your stem, your spine that's holding you up, to do the work of the self. Because growth is always waiting on the other side of shit and situations that present to be dead and brittle. Ashe, ashe.